Hello everyone! Welcome to a DSP video. So we're gonna start off something a little different. You probably haven't noticed. You probably have noticed I'm on the King of Hate forums. I know, right? Really surprising. So I'm gonna tell you, I had a forum account there. I made a forum account for the King of Hate forums last week. Okay, so my account lasted maybe a little bit under a week. Under a week, this account lasted, and let me show you my account. Giant enemy shit. I made my Twitter profile, this profile, to kind of honor her, to honor my account. But let's look at it. See, I joined September 11th. I was a junior member. My community points was 12. I had a good reputation apparently in the community. I honestly wasn't even trying to go out of my way to get banned. I was really just trying to just do mild things and see, like, my first post was in a Patreon account, pretty much saying what I said in my Patreon video about how we should change his goals and all that, and he said what I said is nonsense, and yeah. So I then commented on a few things. So he noticed me again in the Random Thoughts thread, and he said that we were talking about Street Fighter 5. And I said that, and I got into it a little bit more with him, and I eventually called him a hypocrite. Because I brought up the delay thing. I was like, oh, well, you didn't really get that offended with South Park's delay, but when it was Last Guardian and Final Fantasy 15, you really like shat on them for it. But he never came back. He never came back to that thread, so that's fine. Apparently he doesn't go to the Random Thoughts thread, so I'm very honored that I was able to drag him in there for somehow. I didn't even tag him or anything. But yeah, so there's that. I had a nice little like Raggio cover photo that was like her thinking or whatever, and I had this great smug look. I was really happy with my forum post, and I made a few friends there too, which is kind of ironic because I was expecting to see a lot of hostility that I see all being posted on Twitter and all that kind of stuff, but surprisingly, well, I guess it was mostly KG. I think if KG was around, he probably would have put a witch hunt on me, but it wasn't that bad. I think Darksphere was the guy I was talking to a lot because he asked me a question I got into. We might have had difference of opinions, but it was like, okay, fine, that's your opinion, man. My opinion is I think Street Fighter 5 is a great game and all that stuff. I had a great conversation with a few people, so I can't really blame all the members, but it's definitely a very minority group of people that are actually level-headed, and fortunately, that's the only people I've been talking to. So yeah, so let's get into it. So Kill-chan says, now this leads into the post that got deleted. See, there's a post here got deleted by Hitler over here. So Kill-chan says, so he quotes me that says, Phil has 2 OP chainsaws, and grinded for levels. Then says, wish this game was more challenging. Hey, Phil has one challenge unequipped the chainsaws and never used them. He says, Kill-chan says, but that's exactly Phil's point. A well-designed game should provide challenge no matter the weapon you use, or at least not give you the chance to use it all the time, e.g. rocket launchers and FPS. I wish I knew who gave me these 2 stupid points, because this is a dumb sentence. Here's the thing. Here's why it's dumb. Dead Rising accounts for people who don't fucking cheat. The game was not designed for streaming. It wasn't designed to get this handheld. When you play Dead Rising, you're supposed to kind of explore the game and yeah, there's OP weapons in there, but you're supposed to find them. In this terrible playthrough, Phil never found these weapons. He would never find them. The stream chat would have to tell him, hey, go over here, you'll find these great chainsaws that will constantly respawn. They kept telling him shit like that. He never did anything on his own. He never explored them all on his own. He never did that. So he cheated the game, and he's like, well, I will design a game. No, the fucking game wasn't designed for stream chat. The game was designed for you to look at the time, look at when missions start, manage your time and be like, okay, well, the next case mission won't start until this time, so I have this much time to either do side missions or just run around the mall and see what I can find. That's the whole point of the game. The game is supposed to immerse you in a world where you have to manage real life time, and you have to like manage like, okay, I should really stock up on stuff and all that, because when you watch a zombie movie, a good zombie movie at least, what do you mostly see in that movie? Gathering materials and managing their time. That's what Dead Rising wanted to do, and that's what you do in that game. Most of the game, 90% of the game, maybe 50, I don't know, like a good portion of the game is you managing your time, building up a resource, going taking weapons back to your safe room so they stay there. But no, Phil needs help constantly. That is what makes the game terrible. That wasn't even the point. And I even put that in caps in my post, was that that's not the point. The point of the game is for you to explore. That's the entire point of the game. So, there you go. So let's see what fucking idiot here had fucking to say before he banned my fucking account. Okay, let's see. Yeah, no. None of that happened. And I now know who Giant Enemy Shit is. Someone who's been banned before and is using clone accounts to support his own posts too. So he's banned again. Okay. That's a lie. That is such a lie right there. I never made an account on the King of Hate forums. Giant Enemy Shit is the first account I've ever made on this shitty website, and he claims he knows who I am, and he's banned me too. So how does he know who I am? I've never been there before. How am I banned again? This is the first time I've been banned. So these IP addresses he's getting, are these lie? Like, does he even get IP addresses at this point? It seems like a lie to me, because there's no way I've been banned before unless I like made an account in my sleep or something. But no, he lied. So the first sentence he lied. He's a fucking liar. Well, which is no surprise. But now I know. Like before, it's like, well, he could be lying. I mean, he could be telling the truth. Now I know he's a fucking liar because he's saying this shit. And the funny thing is that I had a theory way back in the this year, maybe even last year. I said, because I kept reading SOG account. Oh, this is a SOG account. Blah 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 blah. So I sat there and I was like, I wonder if these are really SOC accounts, because there's no way that a detractor would make 12 accounts or something. That to me seemed a little off, and I was like, and he said that every time he banned someone, it was a SOC account. And I didn't want to sign up for the forums at that time, but now I signed up for the forums, and now I know. When he says it's a SOC account, that's a fucking lie, because he wants to seem very like he's smarter than the detractors by saying that. But he's not, because he's a fucking liar. He's lying about this so he can seem like he's such a smart person. You're a fucking idiot, Phil. You're a fucking idiot. Oh wait, no. That you won't get triggered when I call you an idiot, so you're a fucking retard. There you go. Is that better? Would you much rather be called that or an idiot, Phil? Fucking idiot. Okay, let's continue. That was a tangent there, but this is the worst. This is the dumbest reason I got banned on a forum. I've been banned on forums before for better reasons than this. This stupidity will not stand. The game is incredibly cryptic / difficult unless you know the abusable stuff, which you either 1 have to wander endlessly to find. Oh, just like how the game intends you to play. Or 2, look it up in the case people have been messaging me, tweeting, emailing, using Stream Chat all week to help make this playthrough better. The only idiots complaining are those who want to see me make 40-hour 100 death playthrough of bullshit and rage. And that's not going to be fun or nor retain viewership, so fuck those people. Okay. There's no stupidity in what I said, because I fucking played Dead Rising, and I know people who actually played it, and I didn't beat it on the 360. I didn't get that far. I got to the first Carlito boss, and then I stopped playing. But, I'm playing it now. I had a friend who beat it, and I talked to him about it. I'm like, yeah, like, say how much I like it. He would tell me, like, oh, yeah, it's great. I loved, like, just going around the mall, finding these weapons, and exploring, and just managing your equipment and all that stuff. And, like, that's the point. Dead Rising is supposed to make you manage your time, because it's a fucking zombie game. When you watch a zombie movie, a good one at least, what do you see the main characters mostly doing for most of the movie? Gathering materials and managing their time and stockpiling. That is what you do in Dead Rising. Dead Rising, you look at the time, look at the missions, you manage all this stuff. That's the whole point. But Phil isn't doing that on his own. He has to look at stream chat, he has to be told where the OP weapons are, he has to do all this stuff. And look, like, there's nothing wrong with looking it up in a walkthrough or whatever, because I've done it too, but I don't go immediately there. I only go to a walkthrough when I am truly baffled. When I try, like, a lot of times, and I just can't get it. Then I go into walkthrough mode. But I try. I don't care, because this is my first playthrough. It's not gonna be perfect. So why does he want to go for perfect playthroughs all the time? This doesn't make any fucking sense. And it really cheats the game when he does this. And that's the thing that really pissed me off about this playthrough. It wasn't that I didn't care that he didn't rage. I didn't care that, oh, he didn't. No. It was just he cheated the game. He cheated. He cheated the entire playthrough. There's really nothing. The beginning of the game, he said, how can you like this game? How can you defend it? And now, he's like, oh, I love the game. I could see why people like this game. It's like, oh, now you see it. Oh, because you have OP chainsaws, everything is going easy for you. This playthrough has gotten so boring. Because, like, now he doesn't... It's so fucking dumb. It really pisses me off that he even confirmed what I said is the problem with his playthrough there. I've been doing all this stuff, and it's like, I don't care if he doesn't rage for 40 hours on 100 deaths playthrough. I don't care about that. It's just... He is so insecure about his fucking playstyle and smartness. Look at his Bioshock playthrough. Every little hacking puzzle that he can't fucking solve has been super easy, and he thinks the game glitched or that the puzzle's impossible. I can go on for like hours about how idiotic this is. I can't fucking believe this post exists. Let's continue. I haven't once complained about the game being too easy, except for the fucking time in stream where you said the game wasn't challenging. That's why I said you said it was. Oh, god damn it, Phil. And the sad part is that he said this the same day that he complained about the game being too easy for him. The same day. The same fucking day when he had those OP chainsaws, he complained about there not being enough challenge, and now he's saying he never complained about that. This moron above is just... Well, it's funny you say this moron above when he banned me, and now this guy is above you. Is just making shit up to stir the pot. No, I'm not. Just watch his playthrough. He says this game isn't that challenging. He wished it was more challenging. In addition, everyone has been saying I'm massively underleveled because I didn't spend too much time saving survivors. I guess, but I think that's kind of bullshit because I saw him grind. He left when the military comes in. He left the supermarket, came back in, murdered the military people, left the supermarket again, came back in, and they respawned. He kept doing that for hours and hours and hours. So you tell me what that is. You tell me if that's fun. Nor did I know where all the psychopaths were, and I missed a bunch of big EXP opportunities. Experience opportunities. Okay, people had no issue with me grinding. It was two of the same idiots in stream chat who have been trolling the entire time, who complained, insulted me, and promptly removed. I was in his stream chat and I never insulted him. I just said, this is boring. Why do you need to grind? Do something else. And I even said, are there any other missions he can be doing? And someone said yes. I don't know if that was directed to me or to someone else, but I sat there, I was like, he could be doing so many other things. Instead of grinding, he can look around the mall, look for weapons, but no, he has to grind. And it's like, that's not fun. Who thought grinding was fun? I know a lot of people who complained about grinding in his Bloodborne playthrough. Are you going to tell me that everyone loves grinding? Yeah, okay, Phil. Whatever you say. In the future, if I cannot properly see your IP because you're using proxies to post, expect to be permanently banned and removed immediately. Not putting up with this bullshit from the same 5 or so people on these forums anymore. But I'm not the same 5 people or whoever you think I am. I'm a different person that had different fucking opinion than half these people who shit on you, Phil. Fuck you. And then Last Rambo 341 says, predictable children, but it does not help that they and their evil colleagues are massively disliking the videos. Yeah, okay, whatever you say, Last Rambo Princess. Oh, this is garbage, dude. It's such a terrible fucking forum. I can't fucking believe that this is what we get. Okay, so let's get to the main attraction, shall we? It's been 16 minutes. 16 minutes we've been talking about the fucking forums. Imagine that. Talking about the forums for that fucking long. It's fucking forums. Yeah. There's really nothing in the comments, so don't worry.
What is up, everyone? DSP here. Welcome to the Week in Preview. The first week of the fall season of 2016. And it's going to be an interesting one. Today is actually Sunday, September 18th, 2016. Admittedly, this year in particular, the hardcore gaming season started off pretty damn slow. And what I mean by that is typically it's late August, early September, this first half of September that just passed, you get a lot of big blockbuster releases.
But last week you said that the Dead Rising Remastered, Bioshock Remastered, and Recore were all high-profile releases, and now he's saying, oh, well, we haven't gotten those blockbusters. Okay. And he also said that August was when the hardcore gaming season kind of started, and then September let up again. So, yeah, okay. And I like how he's making it sound as if he has all his free time, but he doesn't play Scarface. Rip Scarface.
They try to get all these games to gear up for the heavy holiday season. Quite honestly, it didn't really happen this year. If you actually look at the releases that have come out over the last few weeks, games like Deus Ex, Mankind Divided, it was kind of like, it was a good game, but it didn't really add anything to the franchise. There was no advertisement budget for it. There was really no hype for it. And so the game was just kind of, Same thing with games like Attack on Titan. And this week in particular, this past week, that passed was really, when you look at it, 2 re-releases of older games and a new game that's kind of just lackluster. This week,
but he likes the game. He said it was solid in his one playthrough of Recore. By the way, Recore is dead. So if you really wanted to see more Recore, it's dead. It died because of those poor views. But he doesn't care about views, and he never looked at views, right?
Really focused on Bioshock Remastered, Dead Rising Remastered, and Recore. If you actually take a look at the 3 games at face value, Bioshock Remastered is a great game because it's Bioshock, but that's a game I've already played for YouTube. Yeah, I'm redoing it with much better quality visuals and better, quality commentary, but at the same time, it's not exactly the most thrilling of games to watch again, especially if you've either played it yourself or you've watched me play it in my original playthrough years and years ago back on my Dark Side Phil channel. Recore is just really disappointing, at least in the fact that it really doesn't do anything original or different. It's certainly not a game that I could really, I don't think, make too much of an entertaining playthrough out of, because really it does feel like a throwback to like the classic Jak and Daxter or Ratchet and Clank style third-person shooter comboed with platforming and puzzle style game. The only original thing about Recore is that you pull cores out of robots. Everything else you do in the game, I've done in many other games before. And the fact is that because the game has a low frame rate and has insanely large loading times on the Xbox One, the game just kind of ends up a disappointment. and not very fun to watch. By far,
Doesn't
this
look
week, the
fun,
game that
no.
actually was the most entertaining as a playthrough that I worked on was Dead Rising. And I don't know if anyone really expected that or not, but Dead Rising, because it's the first time I'm doing a full legitimate playthrough of the game, because the game is so effing frustrating when you don't know what to do, you don't know the ways to
Fuck
get past
you.
certain things.
But you have to learn, you have to learn, you have to learn. Oh, this is...
The gameplay itself is very wonky. The AI in the game is absolutely terrible. I don't think anyone's going to argue with that. The AI in this game.
Oh, the controls are wonky. Okay, but like, he... I said this either in a stream chat or on the forums. I think I said it on the forums. Yeah, I said it on the forums. He talked about it on the stream on Sunday. That's great. I forgot that he noticed me there. Um, yeah, I said that, when you accidentally roll, I'm not saying that and I didn't say, or at least I didn't try to say that he was consciously doing it. Like, he wasn't, like, willingly doing it, but when I played Dead Rising, I started to notice, when I'm, like, seeing a group of zombies, and I'm like, I really want to go through it. I might be trying to rush, or, whatever. I might accidentally do a dodge roll. But that's the thing. It's like it's not something that you think of doing consciously, but it's just you do it on impulse. It's one of those things that you just kind of do, and you don't really uh, think about it. It's just something you don't think about. So it's not really the game. It's just you're doing something and you're not thinking about it. So that's this is the kind of stuff I'm starting to realize with Phil when he plays the games, that he does stuff when he plays it, and he probably doesn't think he's doing it, but instead of just saying like, oh, it's probably something that I did. It's the game that did it. But it's like it's you. Um, when I play Street Fighter or Skullgirls, whatever, when I do a move and I'm like, oh, I should come out, but then I look at what I did and I was like, well, I was probably panicking, or I was probably like, not paying attention where my thumb was moving on the D-pad. So like instead of doing like quarter circle, I might have been doing down left instead of doing like the quarter circle thing that you're supposed to be doing. I might just be skipping the in between there, so the game is just reading two inputs instead of like the full motion. Um, so yeah, that's something that like people can do. So that's what I was trying to tell him. And he's like, "Oh yeah, it's my fault." Okay, yeah. It's like, no, no. I'm just saying that you're probably doing it without thinking about it. You're probably That's all I'm saying. And the AI, yeah, it's kind of garbage. They didn't really change the survival AI, but it's not the end of the world.
Is atrociously bad. The game is pretty frustrating, and it really either needs one of two things to happen. Either you get help, meaning you look stuff up, or someone tells you how to get around a problem, or you just play it a million times and die a million times until you finally, through trial and error, figure out what you're supposed to do. In my situation, it's been a combination. At first, when I started playing Dead Rising, I was dying a lot and getting angry at this game. So that people started emailing me, they started tweeting me, they started in the stream chat giving me advice on what to do in this game. And now I've progressed on, and it looks like one more session of Dead Rising, and I have beaten the game.
Yeah, I got my handheld, and now I'm close to beating the game. Why do I want to beat the game on my own merits and my own, um, uh, you know, skill when I could just get a handheld? Like, there are games that I've played. Like, I played the Resident Evil remake on PlayStation 4, and I had my friend kind of help me out, get me through certain parts. So like when I say I beat the game, I also say like, well, I did the final mission. I did the few of the parts of the mansion, but my friend really helped me got through some of it. But like I also am going through it again, because I did the first playthrough as Chris, and now I'm doing it again as Jill, and I'm trying to beat it on my own. Like I'm trying to do it just see how far I can do it on my own playthrough, and how I can get through it, all that kind of stuff. So. But he's never gonna play Dead Rising on his own. He's gonna need stream chat all the time when he plays that game. It's so fucking sad. It's so fucking sad that he can't play the game on his own and learn.
But that lends itself to the question, should I do a second playthrough now that you can do New Game Plus? And doing New Game Plus, you can have all your abilities and weapons and everything from your first run through, plus the fact that I now know kind of where all the important stuff is in the game that I'm going to need to progress. Should I do a second run where I try to save more survivors and stuff like that? So I don't know. Let's talk a little bit about this coming week, because this coming week is going to be a combination of the things that I just mentioned, which is why I brought them up, plus new stuff. Okay, this week we've got 2 new episodic releases. One actually did come out last week, but it wasn't really a priority for me during the week. And then there's going to actually be some new content released at the end of the week for Street Fighter V that kind of I wasn't expecting. It's coming earlier than expected, that I'm going to be tackling as well. But before I move on, the one thing I want to tell you, if you did not check it out, on Friday I had the opportunity to play the For Honor Alpha. This is not even the beta, but a closed alpha for this upcoming game, For Honor. Melee combat, more medieval style with samurai against knights, against Vikings. I played the game for around 3 hours, and I loved it. It's so different from the typical competitive style online game that you get in this day and age that I really enjoyed it. So if you didn't see that stream, you haven't watched the videos yet, I strongly recommend you do. There's some great stuff. Flying executions. There was one duel I was going at it with a guy, and we had a tie, which was nuts. Things, just unexpected stuff that's really entertaining, in my opinion. For a game that normally you wouldn't think that kind of game would be entertaining, that stream was really entertaining. And it's going to turn into some content that I'm going to be putting out this week as well, as I'm about to explain. Okay, so definitely check out the For Honor stuff on DSP Gaming. If you didn't, I didn't plan on doing that. It came out of nowhere, which is why last week on the weekend preview, I didn't even mention it. All right?
Okay.
So let's get to the nitty-gritty of it. Tonight, after I'm done filming this weekend preview, I'm going to start working on a impressions video about the For Honor Alpha that I played on Friday. I'm going to basically record the voiceovers tonight, which is probably going to take me a couple hours. You know, it depends. I have to think about what I want to say in the video, and I have to say it different ways till it finally sounds good, like it'll fit into a video and stuff like that. It takes me a little while to get that done. So I'm going to work on that tonight. He has to get the robot voice out.
He has to like make sure his voice sounds as robotic as possible. So it's like, hello everyone, welcome to KOGaming, where we're going to talk about games and then... So yeah, that's probably what's going to be.
Tomorrow, Monday, I'm going to be playing BioShock Remastered on stream. It's time for me to take another main stream and do the game, because I've only played it 3 times. I played it as my main stream on Tuesday when it was released, then I played it 2 times at night for only a couple hours. So really, I'm only about 5 to 7 hours into that game, and I need to get further in because I know the game's around 10 to 12 hours long. And I am playing the game on hard. I want to say that abundantly. I didn't announce this last week that I was going to do this, but I'm playing BioShock Remastered on hard difficulty. So my playthrough in a lot of ways is very different from the original one that I did, because I have to find new ways. For example, Peach Wilkins, he's the second boss in the game. My first time I played the game, I beat the shit out of him. I was just throwing plasmids at him, and I kept beating him with my freaking wrench till he died. You can't do that on hard difficulty because the wrench does no damage, and the plasmids do no damage to him. So I actually had to go to telekinesis and catch his Molotovs and throw them back at him, dodging and weaving between other enemies as I did this, and I had to beat him a completely different way than I did in my first run-through of the game. So it actually is lending itself to some variety and some rage, because some of these big daddy fights are incredibly difficult.
Rage. See, I thought that doesn't retain viewership, Phil. I thought rage doesn't retain viewership, and now you're telling me that there's rage in a game in your BioShock playthrough. Okay.
The Big Daddy can kill you with 2 shots. So it's like you have to dodge so quickly between the shots that the Big Daddy does, and it's pretty crazy. It's a different type of BioShock playthrough. That's going to be the main stream on Monday. Monday night, I'm going to edit and release my impressions on the For Honor Alpha for KOGaming. So that'll be over on my KOGaming YouTube channel. There hasn't been a new video on that channel in over a week, so it makes sense to do some variety and get that up there so that people can enjoy it, okay? Tuesday, it's a little bit up in the air, but I think what I'm going to do is this. The new release for Tuesday is Batman, the Telltale Series Episode 2. As long as it is released, I think I'm going to make that my main gameplay stream for the day. I'm going to regardless if the episode's only like an hour and a half to 2 hours long, I think that's going to be my focus, my gameplay stream for the day. And then later in the night, I think I'm going to finish up with Dead Rising. Dead Rising, I'm in the overtime of it right now. From what I'm to understand, I need to keep capturing queen bees. And once I capture all the queen bees that I need, then there's a final segment that lasts about 45 minutes. But I've only got like 6 of the queen bees. And by the way, the weapon that I've been using for most of the playthrough now, the second half of the playthrough, the chainsaw, is now running out. And you can't get another one, supposedly. So I'm going to have to find like a secondary weapon somewhere in the mall that I can use to finish up this DLC.
Yeah, please tell me where the another OP weapon is, guys. Tell me, because I don't know where I can't explore it to save my life. And I like how he's calling the overtime thing DLC when it's not DLC. It was part of the game.
Which could be a daunting task. So we're going to see what happens. So yeah, that's going to be Tuesday night. More than likely, I'm not going to stream it unless there's overwhelming demand. People say, no, you got to stream the conclusion. Then I'll stream it, but more than likely, I won't. So let me know what you think if you want me to stream that conclusion or not on Tuesday night. And that'll finish up my primary Dead Rising playthrough. Wednesday, I'm going to again return to Bioshock. I want to do a main stream of Bioshock on Wednesday. And then Wednesday night, I want to do the Minecraft Story Mode episode. I think it's episode 8, the final episode. It was released last week, but I have not had a chance to play it. I've been so focused on all the other stuff going on that I just have not had another chance to play this game, okay? So that's going to be Wednesday night. I'm going to do Minecraft Story Mode. Thursday is up in the air, and the reason I say that is because Thursday it was announced that Thursday is the final expansion content for Street Fighter V. So you may say, well, what does that entail? Well, the final DLC character, Urien, who I'm very interested in playing because Urien was one of my main characters in Street Fighter 3 Third Strike. Now, I'm not saying...
Yeah, so he'll know, so like, he's gonna be able to shit on it and act like a pro, so prepare for snobby side Phil.
I ever won tournaments with him or anything. In fact, my style of playing Urien was always different. I used the Tyrant Slaughter super, because in Street Fighter 3 Third Strike, there's 3 super arts you can select. I always use Tyrant Slaughter. Almost everyone used his Aegis Reflector, because it does these setups and mix-ups in the corner that lead to giant damage. But I liked Tyrant Slaughter. It was a lot weaker super. It wasn't as good for setups and for tournament play. But I played Urien in a lot different way than a lot of other people did. So I know all about Urien. I know the ins and outs. I know his combo ability. I know everything. If he's a good character, I'm going to find out when he releases this week. And I swear he better be a good character. Because some of these DLC characters for Street Fighter V, like Alex, Guile, they've been crap. Or Ibuki even. Crap. They're crap characters. They're not good. It's just you wait for the new character, and the character is a massive disappointment that can't stand up to the rest of the cast. What the hell were they thinking? Okay?
I played as almost all the characters. I mean, I might have played as Guile for a while, but I liked Ibuki. Ibuki is a really good character. You just have to be good with her for her to be good. I know, crazy notion, but there's that. And then Juri's pretty good. Juri, I think, is the only thing I don't like about her is that she doesn't have a lot of good punch combos. She relies more on, like, you knowing just how to use her. She has good tools to go from, like, for anti-airs and to bridge the gap. But once she's close, it's like, oh fuck. Like, Ibuki has more combo ability with that, but the DLC has been good so far. And Alex, dude, I know Alex players that can wipe the floor with him. Alex isn't a bad character. You just have to learn the character. That's the thing that I hate about these tier lists that come out. Like, they just go by numbers. Like, oh yeah, look at the number at all. Look at this. But, like, if you know the character, you can make that character a great character. Like Alex, yeah, he's like kind of like ranked as a bad character, but I've seen people who, like, do some real damage with him. Like, because, like, there's one move that he does that does a lot of damage because it's a hard move to pull off. So it makes sense for that to do a lot of damage. There's a lot of stuff you can do with Alex than like, what people would be led to believe. He only played Alex one time. You can't master a character one time, so he's probably going to be salty with the Urien because he's going to go, oh, it's not great, but he's not going to learn him. He doesn't learn anything in Street Fighter. The closest character he mastered is Rashid, and that's fucking sad that is a character that he mastered.
Disappointing, honestly, with the DLC releases so far for Street Fighter V.
Take a sip.
So, there's Urian, but also every stage is going to get a new kind of interactive thing. If you remember in the game right now, there's this stage where you're in this like Chinese city street. If you kick someone, they'll fly into a restaurant, a bowl of noodles will fall on their head. Or if you kick them to the other side of the stage, they'll fly into a bus and the bus drives away. Well, Capcom is adding a ton of those. There's like 8 or 9 new ones. So every stage has some kind of like stage interactivity now to go in with the game. So I'm excited for that. And, ladies and gentlemen, Capcom is removing input lag that shouldn't have been in the game. I didn't even know about this until this week when they patched, the big update patch notes and details were released. Can you believe this? Will you hear this? If you've been playing Street Fighter V on a gamepad, okay, you've had the best experience. You want to know why? Because if you've played Street Fighter V on a joystick, you know, traditionally, a joystick, what typically competitive players use, because it's known to give you better reactions, more precise controls. You know, the buttons you push on a joystick typically will give you a better reaction than if you're pushing a button on a wireless controller, right? Guess what? Anyone who's used a joystick had additional lag added to their gameplay. Capcom didn't reveal this until this update. So this game's been out since February, and everyone who used the joystick was at a disadvantage to someone who was playing with this.
This is also part of the thing, like I said on the forums, but I'll say it here. I never had a problem. I played on a fight pad, so I don't know if the fight pad is the same with the fight stick. I think it is, because, but whatever. So, they are removing this lag that was in the game. Dude. If you use the fight stick and all that stuff and you win matches, you're gonna get better now. It's like when people wear like the weights on their arms that make them slower. Then when you remove them, they're like it's like, you know, really fast because it's a good exercise. That's what this is. So like, yeah, you have to like kind of put in combos in for to accommodate for this lag, and now that that's gonna be removed, dude, and it's gonna lead to a very interesting Street Fighter V experience. But I don't know if that includes a fight pad. But I think it does because I don't know. I feel like it does, but I don't know. But either way, it's who cares? Like, there's lag. No one really cares about it. Like, people who've been playing the game are people who like the game.
And Capcom didn't admit it until this week. They suck. As a game developer of fighting games, they've lost so much credibility with Street Fighter V at this point. Anyone who's played the game in the past 7 months, guess what? None of it means anything. Because you played everyone on an unfair playing field where everyone was using a control. It's funny. This has the least input lag. If you used a PlayStation 3 joystick, it had like 7 additional frames of input lag. If you used a PS4 joystick like I've been doing, 8 frames of input lag. So the joystick that's supposed to be native to the console had the most input lag. So when I've been playing, I've had more delay than anyone else playing the game.
Yeah, he has. Only him. Only Phil. No one else. If you claim you have a PS4 fight stick and you say you have delay, you're fucking lying. He's the only one ever.
You know, I thought buying the joystick was going to help. No, it actually...
And I guarantee, when that patch is live and it's patched out, he's gonna say that there's invisible delay. Like King of Fighters. He's like, they didn't fix anything! Oh my god! God, they didn't fix it! It's the lagging! Oh my god, dude!
Actually hurt because they programmed a garbage game. Their dev team was terrible. So supposedly they're fixing it this week. Wow, after 7 months, every game that I've ever fought was illegitimate. They're fixing it this week, yay! Oh my god.
But that's like saying when Overwatch sends a patch to balance a character, all the matches are null and void because these characters were broken. Okay, that's why they patched it. That's why they buffed Diva, and last time I heard of a update patch for Overwatch, so this is gonna be dated. But oh, well, they buffed Diva, so they finally fixed Diva, guys. Wow, like and I said this even on the forums. He is the only person who makes software updates seem like a bad thing. Like I said, there's like, why are you complaining about this patch? Would you rather have them keep it in? Like he kept saying in his pre-streams everywhere that's like, oh man, they're fixing the game. What hacks? With terrible game developers. And it's like, so if they never said anything, they never patched it, you would still like it. So you don't like that they're sending a patch to fix an issue that was in the game, but you want them to fix issues in the game, but you don't like that they send a patch to fix the issues in the game, but their hack developer, they're fucking supporting the game. Like, you know, I've seen more patches for Street Fighter than Metal Gear Online 3, and Metal Gear Online 3 needs fucking patches, dude. I love Metal Gear Online 3. I play it from time to time, but that game needs updates. It needs more music, it needs more customization, it needs more maps, it needs more everything, and Konami is not doing that. But Capcom, oh, we have Street Fighter 5, let's support it, let's send patches that's going to fix issues with the game that we find out. And the thing is that, like, he's making it sound as if that they knew that there was input delay for 7 months. They probably didn't know that until, like, maybe around the time Urian's coming out. Maybe that's why they started throwing it in, because they're like, wait a second, there was lag the whole time. Okay, we gotta fix it. Like, but Phil knows Capcom. He works there, guys.
Like, I'm supposed to be excited about that, right? But anyway, I digress. There's a bunch of other updates, too, going on with Street Fighter V. Now, the question is, when will this content go live? Because every time I talked about this, actually, earlier this year, in one of the top 10 worst things about modern gaming countdowns that I did for KOGaming, all right? Why is it, with DLC content for games, nothing is fucking consistent, right? So Capcom says, oh, it's coming out on the 22nd. Does that mean it's going to be live at midnight? Does that mean it's going to be live in the morning? Does that mean I could download it midday? Is it coming out at night? And you won't even know until the day of. Capcom will not tell you until the day of when it's actually going to be fucking available. So I could right now say, I'm going to play with Urian on my gameplay stream for Thursday. Nope, can't tell you that because I don't know when it's releasing. If it's released, sure, I want to play with Urian, because what I'd like to do is just like I've done with all the other DLC characters. I want to take Urian in the lab, into training mode. I want to do his trials. I want to do his story mode. I want to maybe do a run with him in survival mode and see how far I can get to unlock colors. Then I want to go online and play with him. But I can't promise you when I can do that, because Capcom doesn't know what the fuck they're doing, and they're inept at what they do.
They're inept at what they do, but I'm still going to play their game and all this stuff, but like after all these releases, maybe I should just do the Urian playthrough the day after it comes out. Like, who fucking cares? Like, I would love to know when as well, but I don't care. It's like, oh, it's coming out the 22nd, okay, I'll wait.
It's that simple. They suck with their DLCs. Every DLC is released on a different date, at a different time, and they're still not saying anything about it. So I can't promise you, oh, I'm going to be playing at this time or on this. You know what I mean? I can't. So Thursday is up in the air. Thursday, maybe nothing will be available, in which case maybe I'll just continue with BioShock and see if I can maybe finish up the game by then, right? Or it may be Street Fighter V, or vice versa. We have to see. The end of the week is going to be kind of cloudy at this point because we have no concrete information on Street Fighter V. Once I get the concrete information, I'll relay it to you via Twitter. Over here, I'm pointing crooked. At They Call Me DSP, that's where you're going to find the info on what exactly I'm going to be doing later this week. So you got to follow me and you got to pay attention on Twitter. Every night I'll be posting up a schedule update for you, okay? Now, let's say we get near the end of the week, and my BioShock playthrough is wrapping up, and I finished my playthrough of Dead Rising, and I play Urian and all of that. Minecraft is done, Batman's done, everything's done, okay? What I'm looking to do is to start up my retro playthrough for this month. It's because the patrons for August, who pledged to my Patreon over here at patreon.com, there we go, /DarksidePhil. Those who pledged $5 or more in the month of August have been voting, and I'm going to close the poll within 2 days. So probably early this week, maybe around Tuesday, I'm going to close the poll off on thekingofhate.com and tally the results. But right now, I can tell you, in a big lead, Banjo-Kazooie HD. So it's looking like Banjo-Kazooie is going to start later.
Every Lord Game Jack 3 for free, and he's not even playing it. oh, Airy Lord. You're never getting a game
Later
back.
on this week. Maybe the end of this week, okay? Maybe in the weekend, per se. We'll see.
The weekend.
So once I have the concrete answer for you, I'll let you know, and I'll begin to plan it in around the end of this week, and it's going to be an ongoing game that I'm balancing with everything else that I'm doing, okay? That's going to be fun. I've never played Banjo-Kazooie before. I did a little bit of it with Retro Replay last year, but I never did, that was one of the N64 games that I did not play. I played some of the major ones. I played Mario 64. I touched on Ocarina of Time, but did not like it. I played Star Fox 64, Doom 64, a lot of the early on.
Like Ocarina of Time. I really want to know why now, because I played Ocarina of Time. I played it on the 3DS, and it was okay. I don't think it was as good as people said it was. I still think Wind Waker's the best, but it was good. I liked it, but I just didn't think it was that great of a Zelda game. I think there are better ones, but but I would like to know why he didn't like Ocarina of Time. That's very weird.
Nintendo 64 games, but after a while I moved on to the PlayStation and I never really looked back and didn't really play anything ever on N64 again. So I missed out on both Banjo-Kazooie and Banjo-Tooie. I think people really want to see me play them, or at least, in this case, Banjo-Kazooie HD, because we've got Yooka-Laylee coming out next year, which is the spiritual successor by the same dev team and everything.
Oh, Yooka-Laylee, not Banjo-Tooie? Oh, man, I was really hoping for Banjo-Tooie. Now it got delayed? Fucking
coming out.
Hell, man.
So I think people want to see me play the original first. So that's going to start later on in the week. Now, what other possibilities are there? A lot of people have asked me this week, Phil, you played ReCore once. You played it on Thursday and you never went back to it. Why not? It's very simple, ladies and gentlemen. I'll tell you why. Because the game is not a viewer-friendly game for a playthrough. Alright, it's boring. It really is. It's very repetitive, very similar to other action platformers. And the bottom line is, there is a feeling of nostalgia for certain action platformers like Ratchet and Clank or Jak and Daxter, but there's no nostalgia for this one, and this one really does feel like it doesn't do anything original from any other action platformer you've ever played. The fact that there's insanely excessive loading times. I timed it. One loading session was over 3 fucking minutes to load a screen after I died. What the hell? And the frame rate's choppy, which is ridiculous. In this day and age, this game is exclusively for Xbox One, and I think it's ported to PC as well. And the frame rate's sub 30 frames per second. That's pathetic. Like, that is just... It should be running at least 30 frames per second for a game in 2016. And let me give you some perspective. As I was playing this game on Thursday, the stream started with a lot of interest. People were like 400 or 500 people were showing up to see, I want to see what this game is. Within an hour, the stream was down to barely 300, and then by the end, it was an even 300. Because people were like, we're bored. This game sucks. This is just not a good game to watch. Maybe to play it, it's a little bit more fun, but there's not a lot going on in the game, and it's kind of a boring one. So, I hate to say it, do I want to play the game? Maybe, maybe not. I mean, maybe there's something cool coming that I'm not aware of. But certainly in the first 3 hours that I played, there was nothing to really blow me away or hook me and say, man, I really want to go back to this game. And the fact that almost none of my viewing audience is asking me to go back to it, and instead of asking me to do other stuff, I'm almost leaning towards the latter. Just skip it, okay? So ReCore, I'm not completely writing it off, but unless there's some kind of a turnaround and people are interested, I'm not going to play it. Bottom line is, if you look at YouTube, almost no one watched it. Like, no one cares. Everyone's like, this game is boring as dirt. Play something else. So I think that's really the attitude I'm going to take, unless there's something that changes, but I really don't foresee that happening, all right? So the bottom line is, after all this stuff is done, so we're talking BioShock, Dead Rising, the 2 episodic games in Batman and Minecraft, my Street Fighter V, and then starting up Banjo-Kazooie. After all that is kind of off the docket, then I'm going to look quickly, and I'm going to say, all right, it's the end of the month. What do I want to finish this month with? Because I have a choice to make, a critical choice to make, all right?
A critical one.
I could do a second run-through of Dead Rising, all right? I could play the Minerva's Den DLC for BioShock 2, which was included with the BioShock collection that I bought, but I had never played that DLC back in the day, and everyone got angry at me and said, you should have played it. It's like one of the best DLCs in recent memory for games, and you skipped it because you were so angry at the plain vanilla BioShock 2 that you didn't check out this exceptional DLC. There's a possibility I could do that if people are looking for it, all right? Or I could do something new, because if you actually look at the end of this month, okay, we've got XCOM 2, which is being ported to consoles. We've got a new Sonic the Hedgehog game that's coming out this end of this month. I don't know too much about it. Sonic Boom, which is the franchise that everyone seems to hate. So I don't know if it's going to be worth even trying, because people might just say it sucks, don't play it, right?
Everyone seems to hate. While I played Sonic Boom on the Wii U last year, and I didn't like it, but everyone doesn't seem to like it.
There's a new Forza game at the end of this month. Again, a franchise I've never played anything in. It's hit or miss. I could try it and people will hate it, or I could try it and people will be like, wow, this is refreshing and different and we love it. So I don't know. There is a new episode of Hitman coming out at the end of September. So at least that's set in stone that I will be doing that. But really, that last week of September, besides continuing Banjo-Kazooie and Hitman, I don't have anything definitively set in stone. And I want to kind of keep it that way until I get to that time frame, and I can maybe then I can try to take in the atmosphere from my viewers and say, gee, what are people digging? What do they want to see more of? What are they, you know what I mean? I may use polling. This week, polling was huge. This week, almost every day on Twitter, that's not Twitter, down there, at They Call Me DSP, almost every day I put a poll up on Twitter and people voted, and my gameplay streams were determined by the people voting. It was 3 days, actually Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday. So 5 days this week were determined by the viewers. And I think it worked out well. The streams that I did had great attendance. Like, I can't tell you that I'm disappointed at all. The streams this week were good. So if this is working, if people like that interactivity, I'll keep doing that. But I'm not sure. Like, the end of this month, there's so much going on. I have to really think about what I want to do. Last thing I want to do is, like, buy a game like XCOM 2, $60, play it a couple times, then get too busy with other stuff, never get back to it, which is exactly what happened with XCOM 1. And then people are disappointed. I'm disappointed because I never got back to it. I spent $60. I never even made up my money on the game because I didn't get too far in the playthrough. That's the last thing I want to happen, okay? So that's why I'm trying to be more apprehensive with the stuff that I start with at the end of September. Now, I'll leave you with this before we get to the final segment here. If you thought that this September has been boring, if you've been sitting around like, man, there's been almost no high-profile new releases, if any, I'm not liking the stuff Phil's putting out because most of it's retro stuff, this month sucks, okay?
Okay.
I feel ya. Not everyone digs the old school stuff, and this year's really been a drought. Think about last year, we had Until Dawn, followed by Metal Gear Solid 5, tied in with Mad Max, followed by...
What? This is the second time in a weekend preview where he's talking about last year's releases. He really longs for last year, even though he said last year was the worst year for DSP gaming.
Super Mario Maker, followed by like another game. There was like that much stuff within a month that was big, high-profile stuff. Got people excited. They came to watch my streams and my content. This year, not so much because it's more rehashed stuff and almost nothing. Anything that was supposed to come out that was hyped this month was delayed. So not much I can do about that, right? October is going to be the polar opposite. If you can bear with me.
But if you liked Scarface, you're a fucking detractor that wants to support Fred's. This is how you don't play. So don't you dare fucking suggest that he plays Scarface during these downtime. No.
Until October and come back once the new releases start hitting in October. I really think games like Mafia 3 and Gears of War and WWE, and when I experiment with the PlayStation VR, which is going to be a hilarity into itself, and, you know, Dragon Ball Xenoverse, Battlefield, you know, all these games, I think are going to stack up to be an epic month, but we have to get there, and that's the problem. We have to get through these boring summer months that honestly were pretty damned boring, and now we've got a September that is ending up being pretty flat overall. I said the best thing this month so far has been Dead Rising, and I like it, and I'm happy that people are enjoying it, but it's only one game. I can't support my...
He liked it. He fucking liked it. Watch the Carlito boss fight. You tell me if you liked it. You tell me, after saying that the game's garbage, it's broken, how can people defend this? All this stuff. Oh, I like the game. It's great. It's great now. Yeah, woo. Great boss fights. Not like I had OP chainsaw weapons or anything. Great game. Great game.
myself on one game a month, you know what I mean? So I'm doing the best I can here with what's available to me, and here's hoping for the best that things can, you know, pick up and people will start coming out again once the new games come out, all right? Last but not least, Patreon. I just want to give everyone an update. Right now, this month's goal is for a horror marathon on Halloween. The difference between last year and this year's marathon is I'm going to be playing 3 to 4 games during this marathon, so there's variety. The main complaint I got last year was the event was good, but I only played 1 game and people got bored within 2 hours. So this year's different. I'm playing 3 to 4 games, so it'll be variety, and I think people's interest will be kept a lot better this year. But We haven't hit the goal yet. We're under $100 to the goal. A lot of people have been asking me this week, gee, Phil, how far are we from the goal? You know, you got about 12 days left till the end of the month. We're close. We only need, like, I think it's like $90 or something like that. And we will hit the goal for September. There will be a Halloween marathon. I've been looking at Halloween costumes. I went out this past Friday and I was looking at this. There's a couple stores in my area for Halloween that are selling costumes. And I'm looking around getting some good ideas of things that I can do for this one. So I want this marathon to happen. I know that you probably want it too. Consider pledging. Even if this is a slow month and you're disappointed that there hasn't been any new releases, you're like, man, when's Phil going to put out some good new releases again? We like following him when he plays the new games. And you want to see a fun Halloween-style marathon, you got to pledge. Don't just ignore it this month. You got to pledge, okay?
Pledge.
$90 to go to hit this goal. We can definitely make it. Just I gotta keep talking about it now in every video so people understand you gotta pledge if you want to hit this goal by the end of the month. All right. So that is it for the weekend preview. Combination of my impressions on For Honor and its alpha, the continuation and hopefully conclusion of BioShock Remastered, the continuation and conclusion of Dead Rising, Batman, the Telltale series episode 2, Minecraft Story Mode episode 8, Urian and other expansion content for Street Fighter 5 later whenever the hell it comes out. All right, the start of Banjo-Kazooie HD, and hopefully, you know, I'll start to get a better idea of what I should do for the final week of the month by the end of this week, and I'll be able to tell you about it. Okay, so that's a lot of stuff for this week. A big variety of content coming to DSP Gaming, to KOGaming. If anything else happens vlog-worthy, I'll do it here right now. And in particular, I don't really have anything lined up for a DSP Tries It this week. I don't really have anything going in regards to vlogging. But you see what happens. Some weeks I have nothing planned, and all of a sudden all this vlogging stuff happens, and I end up doing a bunch of vlogs. So we'll see what happens this week with the vlogging. But thank you to those who are here for every single week, every single video, you know, every single stream, whatever you're available to watch. I appreciate it. And fingers crossed that things pick up once the new releases hit. All right? That is it. Oh, my God. That's a great burp from dinner right there, right at the end of the video. How do you like that? That is it. Without further ado, thank you to the following August patrons who made this upcoming Banjo-Kazooie playthrough happen. And I will see you tomorrow for new gameplay, new content. As always, peace out, everyone.
Well, actually, I want to see.
I'm excited. My window's open. No air conditioner. I don't know if you can tell. There's no air conditioner sound or anything right now. The air conditioner's uninstalled. It's cool enough for me to not have that. I'm excited by that. I like the cooler weather now. The air conditioner. My window's open. Fall has. See you tomorrow for new gameplay, new content. As always, peace out, everyone. Have a good night. Fall has begun. This week is the first official week of fall in the United States. I'm excited. My window's open. No air conditioner. I don't know if you can tell. There's no air conditioner sound or anything right now. The air conditioner's uninstalled. It's cool enough.
Also, you might.
That I like the cooler weather when I'm.
You might be hearing my my computer fan. He's excited, hyped for that cool weather.
Gaming, it's actually more comfortable in the office, and I can't wait for it. So.
Well, he wears like a t-shirt and a beanie still, and like he does in every single video.
Everyone, see you later. Peace out.
Well, let's see. I want to see this. AV, Last Rambo. Fuck you, Last Rambo. Hassan, Daniel, Blaine. Right Side Viking. Fuck you. Peanut. Chaotic Sam. Fred. Ah. No. A lot of people, and this is so bland that it's just fucking like. Popsicolo. Okay, I'm Das. Fuck you, Das. Is anything good? Jimmy Woo is pretty much an idiot, but whatever. I think that's it. Killchen, this fucking guy that was on the forums. Oh, I hate him. Alright, well, that's it. Dead Rising 2, he's not gonna play that. He's gonna be playing off the record, to be honest. Alright, that's it. That's it. That's it. That's it. That's the end. The end on DSP saying my views. Alright, that's it. Thanks for watching. Sorry for the phone call that happened near the end, but that's it. Is there any other announcements I was going to say? Nope, probably not. So, thank you for watching. See you next... Oh, now remember. Last thing. My Q&A stream is Wednesday. So, if you want to submit a question, post it either in the comment section below here, or find my Q&A video and post comments there, or wait till the stream, which is going to be on my main channel, Theo Does Videos, and you can ask me questions in the stream chat, and I'll answer questions, and that'll be fun, okay? So, don't forget, my Q&A stream is Wednesday, probably at 1 o'clock p.m. I don't know how long it'll be, but it'll be as long as it should be, as long as I can make it. So, that's it for this video. Thank you for watching. Hope to see you in the stream on Wednesday. So, that is it. See you then.